Why these weirdo rappers perpetrating like they pulling skits? Flexing on that Instagram, but steady sucking dick. Run him down, catch him at the Grammys, I'ma bust his shit. Plus my team hella active, they be with us.
I'm saying the people that's in a gang, you know, for instance, are ranflas, you know what I mean? The homies that's in it, we understand, you know, we understand loyalty, we understand structure, we understand discipline. So if we're out on the streets, we're going to apply that to our communities, you know what I mean? To change for the better, because we've understand it, because we've witnessed it. So we're not gonna, like I said, we're not gonna go out here and say, yo man, you know, you need not to be doing that, because you know, it's not good for you. A kid is not gonna look at it, he's gonna look at an average Joe like, bro, you can't tell me shit because you wasn't there, so I'm not gonna pay attention to what you're saying. You know, that's where you have the friction nowadays of the younger generation and the older generation, because they're not seeing eye to eye. The new generation right now didn't have those big homies to really guide them to do the right shit. So they're like, man, fuck what this dude said. I'm a big homie and I'm 19. That's never unheard of back when I was young. You know what I mean? Back in my days, that's not unheard of. So it's a gap. You know what I mean? And we can't sit there and be like, and get out and say, yo, you can't do this. You know what I mean? I've been doing this too long, because where you been the last 25 or last 15 years? You've been incarcerated. So you left me out here hanging. But to go back to what you were saying about the community, a lot of people look down on gang members, and you know that really trips me out, because if you look at history, those that had authority, you know, in certain aspects, have built up communities, have built up mass regimes, armies, and have dictated that that loyalty, discipline, and that structure around it. You know what I mean? So I see it as, you know, if I'm going to build my community, you know, and I'm going to look out for those from the inner city and all of that, I'm going to have some people that have been there with me, that knows how to do it from the ground up. You know, I'm not just going to get somebody that's never been in a situation like me, never been behind the walls like me, because they don't know nothing. They just know what they see on TV or in movies, and then try to put that into the way they talk or the way they present themselves to somebody. It's not going to work. You know what I mean? It's not. I know when people try to talk to me that ain't never been there, I never paid attention. So, you know, I don't get it, you know?
Yeah, that's deep, bro. That's deep. The way that society does utilize gang members as scapegoats. The problem is people aren't identifying the problematic cause or the root cause of anything. They're utilizing everything as a distraction so they can say, I'm a good person. I have an orthodox appearance. I have a financial status. I look like Ryan Seacrest. I don't look like a gang member. I'm a good person. Gang members they must just be inherently evil, and they just pop out of thin air. Man, nothing manifests from thin air. You know, when a corporation owner moves his corporation overseas to capitalize on slave labor, that extracts vital resources and employment opportunities from particular geographic areas, creating dilapidated lower class regions, aka the hood. So as a society, the people in power have blinded the masses. Instead of identifying how these things manifest, they're distracted with the end result because they utilize it as a scapegoat. But that's crazy, man, because we just broke down right here and now in this interview how gangs and poverty form.
Yeah, and that's true. Like in my native of Honduras, man, it's you know, it's crazy. I don't want to go too much deep into that, but you know, over there, if there was resources such as jobs and you know YMCA's like they have over here, or something to do for kids or for everybody over there, jobs being the main source so people can feed their family, maybe it wouldn't be in turmoil, you know, and that's throughout that whole region over there. You know, everybody wants to take care of their family, you know what I mean? And you know, a job is, you know, in a third world country is like, that's like a prized possession. But if there's no jobs over there, what do people retort to? Violence, getting it to fend for their own, you know. But if you supply that type of resource there, would there be chaos? There would still be chaos, but it wouldn't really, because everybody's going to work 9 to 5, making what little bit of change they have to feed their family. So you're not gonna see bullshit all the time. You know what I mean? You'll see the little bits of it, but that's it with everything you do. And like with me, man, I focus on my music, and I do my music because, I've had the money. So materialistic things is nothing to me. I don't want to get a record deal to buy a big ass chain. In my song, I say I don't wear chain, I wear tattoos. You know what I mean? Because the story, it tells a story. So I'm not gonna, get this money and get a big ass chain or get a stupid ass car that and nothing to show for it. Materialistic things has never been, something for me, because I've already seen it when I was in the streets. You know what I mean? So, my thing is, to help my brothers coming out from the prison. You know what I mean? To help to establish a foundation where we can build it up. You know what I mean? So if my homeboy come out, I'm gonna give him a job to do something. Yo, okay, since you coming out, you looking for work, I will pay you like a regular 9 to 5. You know what I mean? So, people that haven't been in a situation like, say, for instance, prison or the feds, don't know what it's like. You know what I mean? To really be in there with nothing. You will change your mentality. I went in as a kid, and I came out as a man. So you will change your mentality of the way you look at things. You will learn to stop blaming people for what you've done, or you will learn to stop, criticizing everything, and just take responsibility and accept responsibility. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I really like my main goal is to, if I get my foot in the door, I'm bringing everybody with me, so, I'm bringing the whole team. I get my foot in the door, I'm going to help the next man out. He's trying to come up. He got some good music. Yeah. He's solid, all the way around. He did time, his paperwork check. He's solid. He's good. He can function with us, so I'm trying to feed everybody. If one eats, we all eats. That's my mentality. I'm not going to just be like, oh shit, I'm from this video, he's from that video, so I don't want to fuck with him, because we was all functioning behind the walls together. Why can't we do it out here? Okay, you want to come out and get a job? Learn how to do videos. You learn how to do accounting. You learn how to do photo shoots and network and be an A&R, and then you learn how to do beats. If I got all the homies in one of those areas, we don't need no outsiders, because we got it right here, and we're gonna build it from the ground up. So that's mainly what I tell my homeboys, my little homies. You don't have to be in the streets, man, to be a gangster. Because I know some dudes that never been in the streets, that never been in the system, but are straight gangsters. You know what I mean? So it's not always about, oh, I got to get out here and prove myself, because my mom always told me there's a lot of tough dudes in the grave. So, I try to shed lights. I'm not a preacher or anything like that, but I too myself have a mentor that I look up to. And, if I can give insight to the young dudes, I'll try to show them, man, but I'm not going to preach to them if that's the route they want to choose. I don't want to hear you crying at the end of the day, just like I'll tell my son.
Yeah, you're more about leading by example, and that's why I see eye to eye with you, homie. We're on the same page, bro. Instead of just existing for our own satisfaction, we want to make an impact, bro. We want to put a stop to these corrupt cycles, man. You know what I'm saying? And by leading by example, man, there's no way around it, bro. That's the most efficient route, homie, or the most effective solution regarding anything, homie. Leading by example, man. We know nobody's perfect, bro, but we live in a society that encourages us to be prideful and defensive of our mistakes, and we end up becoming it, man. And that's why nobody's really evolving out of any problematic or counterproductive mindsets,
Yeah, and see, like with me, man, I can get on here and talk about stabbings or getting stabbed and hitting people in the head with locks, or riots and race riots and all the fuckery, but me you know, and what's so crazy is that I have the paperwork to prove it. You know, I brought my paperwork too, you know, year by year to go through case numbers and everything, to go through everything. But I'm like, why do I need to do that? I don't want to relive something that I'm trying to escape. You know, I don't already been in there, you know, and I went from my range was from 17 to 33, you know, and then not to mention I caught 2 years ago, I caught some high profile case where they put me on the news, they put me on the internet and some shit like that. Shit popped off. I had to come off a gang of money, you know, so I don't want to relive something because the universe listens. You know, if you keep talking about going to prison or it eventually will happen. You know, everything comes back around, you know, so I don't want to be the one of the guys. I've done that prison shit. I've lived that prison shit. I was really hands on with that prison shit, but I don't want to get out here and talk about experiences of prison. You know, I see a lot of dudes, you know, and that's cool, you know, not knocking anybody who does that. But, you know, me personally, I don't want to relive something that I had to be accustomed to. I had to put a whole mask on and operate a certain way. You know, I don't want to relive that. I'm trying to bring, you know, light to the homeboys that's on death row. Continue to live through them, live for them through my music. You know, right. You know, send them money, send them letters. You know, send them pictures. A letter and some pictures go a long way to the guys that's not you know, getting anything, you know. So, you know, that's just my what I like to do. I got a gang of cards, you know, I got over like 60 cards I got to send out for the holidays, you know, just to show them that they're not forgotten, you know. So, you know, that's just my main thing, you know, is to bring light to a situation or to some people that has, you know, got the shit end of the stick, basically.
Damn, G, I give you credit, man. I know, I appreciate you being a real one, but I know that our planet appreciates you even more, homie. And all the real individuals that aren't going to have another chance at freedom, that had good moral compasses and good hearts and good souls and intelligent minds. But like many of us were caught in an unfair cycle, in a systematic trap designed to oppress. You know what I mean? That's why, you know, it's mandatory we evolve, homies. And I appreciate you being real, homie. Now, I just want to clarify, when it comes to your music, man, it's K2K Travy.
Yeah, it's K2K Travy. So it'll be K2K, which means crooks to crowns. It's a foundation that I'm working on, you know, with my mentor, Joey Trujillo, a good friend of mine. You know, I look at him as another pops to me, you know, because you know, I had went one day to church, you know, and you know, I was doing the most back then, you know, I was doing dumb shit. But he pulled me to the side and like, bro, let me talk to you. And when he started talking to me, you know, I started listening. You know what I mean? And then not too long after that, I had my twins and I started settling down. You know, I started really rethinking my structure or the way I move, rethinking what I'm gonna be out here doing, you know. And K2K is Crooks to Crowns. Crooks to Crowns is a movement for guys who've been in the system and who've learned from their mistakes. You know, so say, you know, it builds, Crooks to Crowns is a foundation on fathers, you know, because there's a generation, there's a cycle of fathers not being in a household. But what Crooks to Crown builds on is fathers in the home who have been through the trenches, who are now on the streets making a positive change, not only in their household, but within their family, within their society, within their community, and they're doing it 9 to 5. You know, they're doing their 9 to 5 and they're doing their family thing. So that's what Crooks to Crowns, that's the foundation of Crooks to Crowns, is turning a negative into a positive, you know, and getting out of prison and restructuring your whole life. Not to say that, you know, you still not with the bullshit, because if somebody bring harm towards your family or yourself, you're going to do everything to protect them. But it's a foundation mainly for those coming out of jail and getting their life on the right path. That's what Crooks the Crown. So that's what K2K Travy mean. And Travy is problem in the streets, Travieso. I was a problem child back then, so that's what K2K Travy means. And it's TRAV, short for Travieso.
Dang, man, that's deep, homie. What was that?
No, I said it's TRAVY, or some people spell it I, but it's TRAVY, and that's what the K2K stand for.
Yeah, that's with a Y, homie. That's clear, homie. Now, not only, bro, you got a lot of people trying to rap, a lot of people trying to do this and that, but you speak from firsthand experience, homie. You're leading by example, and you're incorporating that mindset into your music. So I know there's a lot of people out there that are tired of the bullshit you hear on the radio, tired of these suburban teenagers pretending to be immortal savages and hitman out of boredom, just tired of ignorance or lies or counterfeit mayhem. Well, if you're tired of the fake bullshit, check out the homie K2K Travy, all right? Because this fool been around the block, bro, and it didn't take his soul, homie.
Yeah, because I mean, and then what trips me out is a lot of people. I'm not knocking somebody what they rap about, or things like that, but my music, it's speaking volumes. You know what I mean? So I got a lot of dudes from state to state that taps in with me, and it's real music. But the hires, they're not gonna pump somebody that's speaking that real shit. They'll rather pump somebody that's speaking bullshit. I sip lean all goddamn day, or I got 60,000 chains on, and I done shot 100 motherfuckers. First off, that's bullshit in itself. You shot 100 motherfuckers and you ain't did no time yet. Stop playing. So I try to be like, I try to write my music on reality. You know what I mean? That's why I say it's struggle rap, because it is of the struggle. It's from poverty-stricken countries to poverty-stricken households, and it's struggle. It's pain on what I've been through or what I witnessed instead of me. I can't I can't rap about jewelry and Bugattis because I never seen a Bugatti. I never seen that. So I try to write on the real stuff that that I done seen people go through or I done been through, but they wouldn't pump that music, all through the system and everything. They'll pump some foolishness, so, I'm just going to continue to keep grinding, like I said, the streets fucking with me, the homies behind the walls and everybody from the UK all the way down to fucking Brazil fucking with me. So, when, like my homeboy said, if you got the streets, everything else will follow, so I try to be humble, man, and keep it a ground basis, man, with what I talk about in my music, bro.
Man, I give you a lot of credit, G. And just to clarify to anybody who might be caught in that trap in their mind, homie, that might despise reality, they don't want to hear things like this, we're going to go ahead and tell them there's no substitute, okay, for genuine confidence. There's no replicating first-hand experience, homie. You know what I mean? And that's necessary when it comes to having a solution-based point to our existence and standing against evil, homie. And that's what we're going to do. I just want to tell you, man, much love and respect. Homie, I appreciate your time and energy. It is not something I'm entitled to.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you, bro, for extending your hand, man. And like I said, man, if it was of some other nature and some bullshit, I would have been like, no, I can't do it. You know what I mean? But, solid, real recognized real, bro. Keep doing what you're doing, man. It's positive, and, shout out to everybody that's doing their time, and, free all the real ones, and they can keep the suckers, because I don't really care for them.
That's right, G. Hey, much love and respect, homie. Make sure everybody go check out K2K Travy, man, on Instagram. He's on YouTube. Man, come on, man. If you want real, it's right here, bro. You can stop looking. Much love and respect, homie.
Igualmente.